What up, fam? Your boy Josh. Look, let's tap in. We have to talk about a couple things. Seriously, I want this to be a real conversation. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want this to be a real conversation. Listen. Let's just get this out in the air. We need to talk about the nature of the beast. The nature of the beast. What is the nature of the beast? The nature of the beast is the likes, it's the comments, it's the subscribers. It's it's veering away from how you truly feel and what you really should be saying with this platform that we're given to try and help and guide people into the right direction instead of what YouTube and the ALGORI rhythm wants us to go into. I'm gonna tell you, look, fam, there was an all things considered episode, I guess you can call it that we did back in the day, me and your boy Tribe, and it made me feel so good because it was talking about the realities of life. We were talking about the times when we had to drive our cars to provide for our families when we may or may not have car insurance, and how you handle yourself, how you don't drive crazy, how you make sure that you're using your turn signals to get to the job, to get the hours to provide for the family and to get back home. The real world, real life things, fam. We gotta get back to that. And I'm seeing so much stuff in these YouTube streets. I'm seeing so much stuff in the mainstream media, the news. I'm seeing so much stuff just being distorted and just I don't know. It drives me crazy, but it's the nature of the beast. Fam, I need for you to hear what I'm saying tonight. We have to avoid the nature of the beast. Now look, I'm gonna tell you. I've done tons of videos on WROL, shift, prepping, preparedness, pew pews, water purification, food storage. All I've done tons of videos on all that stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be absolutely honest with you, and I'm gonna say some things that I probably haven't said before, just because. Look, at this particular moment, I'm not worried about the doom and gloom and the people who are like, "Oh my God, here we go with the doom." I'm not worried about that right now, but I'm gonna tell you, fam, right now, the beast, the playground, the devil's playground is gonna be. This is going to be the worst place when this thing collapses. The United States of America is going to be the absolute worst place on the planet to be when things collapse. A lot of people already said it. I don't look. I don't know if in China or in what's the country down under. I can't even think, the island Australia. I don't know if in North Korea or South Korea. I don't know if in China or I don't know if they talk about shift or WROL the same way that we do. But what makes this country the greatest is the fact that we have walks of life from abroad. That I'm not gonna lie to you. That is what makes this country the best. We have Mexican, we have African, we have Spanish, we have Chinese, we have Russian, we do have Pakistani, we do have Indians. We've got everything here. This is the greatest experiment on the planet. And if we don't really start to have real conversations, because I'm gonna tell you, this thing's gonna explode. If we don't start to have real conversations, not this, oh, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And not the conversations that make you feel like you're part of the group. Not the conversations that stroke your online YouTube ego that you've created. You know what I'm saying? Where you hop into a chat and everybody's like, "Hey, what's up? What's up? I haven't seen." Because I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. Be honest with you. The things that we've talked about for years is about to go down. Things are about to change. The nature of the beast. You got to understand the nature of the beast, or you're going to get swallowed up by it. Look, we are at a Sodom and Gomorrah moment. I don't care what anybody tells you. You can chop it up any way you want to, but we are at a Sodom and Gomorrah moment. And I guess what I'm calling for in this video is a sense of what's right, a sense of morality, a sense of no, fundamentally what's right. Now look, I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about, and I hope that you can feel it. I hope that you can understand what I'm saying, because I'm gonna tell you, for the people who can't understand what I'm saying, you got a lot of work to do. But if we are literally in the middle, in the midst of shift, WROL, societal collapse, no power, very little food, the gangs are ravaging. The military is putting people on a train at gunpoint. The Constitution is null and void. The tactical nuclear weapons have already been fired by Pakistan and India, by Ukraine and certain words I can't. Ukraine and Russia. It's already been done. The planet is on fire, and that is where we're headed. That's why I need for y'all to understand that this is, fam. Look, I do my videos in the morning. I'm like, hey, it's Wednesday, 2 days till Friday, da 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 da, and I absolutely mean that. That is what I'm feeling at that particular moment. But I'm telling you right now, we got work to do. We need morality in this country, and we don't have it. Listen. All of this, all of the facades, all of the craziness, all the stuff with, you know what I'm talking about. At some point, where we're going, it is going to fall to the wayside, and you will realize in reality that everything you have been taught, that our way of life has been doo-doo. That's the best way I could put it. You're listen, fam. Okay, let me break it down to you. Once the 9 to 5 structure, go to work, pay your bills, provide for your family. Once that is null and void from war, from economic collapse, from shift, from WROL, you're really going to start to understand what is truly important. You're really going to understand what it means to provide for your family. And that's not going to be just hopping in your car and going to a 9 to 5 to make somebody else profit and then coming home. It might be working the garden. It might be bartering with some people down the street for the skills that you have, for the skills that they don't have. And I want to emphasize on this, fam. It is going to be regardless as to how you feel. Look. All right, look. Let's get real. Let's get real. When this thing hits, when this thing collapses, and you need to provide food for your family because you did not prepare. You did not stock up on dry goods and canned goods and freeze dry foods when you could get them for very cheap. You did not. And you have a skill that some Chinese person needs, or some Mexican person needs, or some fam. Yeah, I'm talking about the races because this is what it's going to come down to. There are going to be things that are just going to have to be done in these mental barriers that we have. I'm talking shift. I'm talking WOL. When that Chinese person has a couple cans of what, beef stew, and your family desperately needs that to make it to next week, you're going to have to put aside the fact that this person is whatever he is, and you're going to have to treat them with respect and morality to make this deal. Fam, we're at a Sodom and Gomorrah moment. I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, it's comfortable and it's easy to make these daily decisions based on a person's economic power. Middle class, lower class, upper class, who owns a business, who can pay me, who can help me, who cannot assist me. People on the street asking for money, all these different things that we take into consideration on a daily basis. It's gonna come down to, look, fam, that that person asking for 50 cents on a side of the intersection, they know how to survive. So it may come down to a point as to where you've lost everything and you don't know what to do. And you may have to go and ask that person that's been living under the bridge, that's been living, behind the building. You're gonna have to ask them, how do I make it? How do I survive? And they're gonna tell you, this is how we do it. Come on, I'm gonna show you. This, we're headed, fam. We're headed to a different time and a different place. I'm gonna be honest with you. The globe is restructuring. I know we got this tariff talk. We got trade. We got all these things going on now. But I'm gonna be honest with you. It's gonna come down to morality. And now look, when this thing pops off, they're going to be people. I can promise you. See, the problem is that we're the only country that is so integrated with multiple different races. China is predominantly Chinese. Russian is predominantly Russian. Africa is predominantly Africans. You see what I'm saying? South America is predominantly South Americans. United States, we got a melting pot. And that is what is going to make what we're about to go through so crazy. Literally, Sodom and Gomorrah. Fam, all the other countries, they're gonna fall in line. They're gonna fall in line because everybody's gonna look the same. Everybody has the same culture, the same traditions, the same language. They're gonna fall in line, and they're gonna march to the same beat. But what I'm hoping that what does not happen here is that we take this stupid division to the grave. I'm hoping that we don't. Look, hey, I got the fam. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, the one thing I like about killing my channel, and I know a lot of YouTube content creators are like, Josh, you've lost your mind. I think now it's 233. I really don't even care. But for those who have subscribed, I appreciate you and I thank you. We have very real work to do here. I've gotten rid of a lot of the craziness, a lot of the it's literally crazy. But I much rather start over now with 230 something subscribers than to still have my 3,000, 4,000 subscribers, and it just be filled with just nuts that just want to cause confusion. I don't know, fam. I really don't. But I'm gonna be honest with you. We're on the cusp. We got weeks. We got weeks. We're about to see a world on fire, a world at war. Now that is World War III. Listen. There's certain things I can't say, but India is considering their new conflict. The new region has lit up. They're considering their conflict a war on terrorism, the same as us. That's what they're considering it. And because they have labeled it that, look, it's a playbook. Because they have labeled that, Israel is now getting involved to help with the annihilation of terrorism. God, I spell so bad. We are in Garcia, the island. I don't know, what is it, Garcia? Is it Vega? Garcia, the island, which is, fam, it's a playbook. We just don't know the next play, but that island is in perfect position to strike. Fam, to strike Iran. Pakistan, and CHINA. They and daily they are adding more and more bombers and stealth fighters and stealth bombers, and they're adding more so that when things pop off, we can kind of sort of control and have avenues and routes. Fam, the nature of the beast. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm so fed up with like, comment, share, and subscribe. The problem is that it's an avenue to reach a lot of people. The problem with that is you can. It's an avenue to reach a lot of people with whatever it is that is on your mind that you want to feed the people. I hope that me telling you that we need to bring back morality. We need to bring back what is important. We need to bring back values. We need, even in the time of shift, even in the time of WOL. Listen, there are going to be people in shift. America's armed to the gills. We are all armed to the gills. This is going to be a shit show. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm thankful that I know where I go after this physical existence. I spent a lot of time today. If you really want to know, I spent a lot of time today just thanking God for how beautiful this place is. We had these awesome cloud formations. It was big blue sky, but we had these cloud formations, probably about 75. We had a really good breeze that was just coming through, and it was just really nice today. And I kept thinking, God, thank you, because I'm really going to miss this place when I'm not here anymore. Thank you for the breeze. Thank you for the beautiful clouds and the big blue sky and the green trees. It was just awesome. It was this big green tree, and the backdrop was these big, beautiful, deep blue skies with these clouds. And I was like, I'm not gonna experience or feel this in any other place. But I thank you for this. Family in the mix. As we say, always prepare spiritually, mentally, and physically. But I'm gonna tell you, fam, check yourself. If and this is all internal work. It's not for anybody else to know what you got going on or anything. But I'm gonna be honest with you. If you have any internal conflicts with with just people, we'll just leave it at that. With people, start to dwindle, start to work out those not so good ideas you may have about people from different walks of life. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, where we're headed, it's going to come down to absolute survival. It's gonna come down to it's gonna come down to working 2 or 3 hours for that one can of oodles and noodles, or that 2 or 3 packages of ramen noodles. And it's probably gonna be a person that you just really don't care for. But at that particular time, you're gonna put aside the things that you have been taught and instilled and programmed from television programming. I I guess that's one of the reasons why I look at shift, I look at WOL, I look at this transitional period as a progression, because I know that there is so much more than just this physical existence. Look, when I take one in the stomach, or whatever happens, heart attack or whatever happens to me, I know that I'm gonna wake up someplace else, and everything that I've experienced is gonna be just a dream. It's gonna be just another part of my spiritual existence. So I'm not sweating. I'm not sweating the physical things. I truly understand that this sofa behind me, over time, is just gonna go back to being dirt. These walls, that TV, that board, it's just gonna go back to being dirt. I understand that I'm here and I work. I provide labor. I trade my physical existence and time and essence and power for a monetary, for money. I understand that. I understand that this is how this physical existence is set up. But I do know that there is so much more beyond all this. This is a fleeting moment in my spiritual existence. This is just something that I have to deal with. This is something that I probably asked to experience. The collapse of the greatest experiment on planet Earth, which is the United States of America. I probably asked to be here. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. But fam, we have to start having real conversations. Not this everyday happy go lucky bullshit, but we gotta start having real conversations because I'm gonna be honest with you, fam. We got weeks until the real gets pushed upon us. Yeah. And then you won't have time to say, "Oh yeah, well, maybe that person, maybe my neighbor 3 houses down really ain't so bad. I couldn't stand them before, but maybe they really ain't so bad. They gave us something to eat." All right, I'm gonna tap out, fam. Things are not gonna things are not gonna back off, ease up. We're not going back to the golden age. We're not going back to the 80s. We're not going back to the 90s. We are in for a absolute and total transition of everything, of our entire way of life, policing, economics, the global economic system, trade, how we date and marry. It's all changing from AI to the internet. I don't know. Somebody's coming up the street. It is loud as stink. All right, fam. I'm out. Real conversations. That's the bottom line. I ain't gonna lie to you. Online, I don't have time. I don't have time for a happy-go-lucky, make everybody feel good conversation. It is time for real conversations, and you're probably not gonna like the real conversations, but I hope that you will listen to them. All right, I'm out. Peace out, fam. Y'all be safe. Later.